Well, I think the internet has been very useful and wonderful in many ways, but it's also kind of a negative thing because we've become so well connected, but also it allows people to be free in ways that is not always so good for society. So while I think we've progressed a lot through the internet, it's really kind of getting in the way of social progress now. So every age says that it is the most anxious age. Ever since the poem The Age of Anxiety was written in the 1940s, every age claims that it's more anxious than the last. And I think if we look back to the Middle Ages or even earlier times, there was so many stresses in their lives and perhaps even more uncertainty and anxiety than we have today. We don't have to worry about animals eating us, or when we go looking for food, we just go to the grocery store. So in many ways, we have it a lot easier, but also we have unusual pressures that our ancestors didn't have to face. Our concerns about nuclear war, for example, were certainly not something that happened 200 years ago. So in a way, we each have each person has his or her own set point of anxiety. So if you become less anxious about one thing, that just makes room for something else. And I think that's true of humans in general. We have a certain amount of anxiety because our brains allow us to have that. The prefrontal cortex is anxiety is the price we pay for having a prefrontal cortex that can anticipate the future. Kierkegaard said that anxiety is the price we pay for freedom. And I think that's true. It's just that the prefrontal cortex is what allows us to choose and to have freedom. We all have fears and anxieties of everyday life, and that's perfectly normal. And for most of us, it's not a problem that we have to really face. It's just we cope with things as we go through life. But when people have problems that are interfering with their daily life to the point where they can't perform their normal roles as a child, or as a student, as a parent, as a teacher, then they need to seek some professional help, because only then can all of this be managed. I mean, one thing that I think everybody can use to improve their kind of general well-being is to learn to do a little bit of meditation. It's not easy. I've been practicing a little bit myself, but it's very helpful when you can call upon that when you're feeling a little tense. So I think for everyone, try a little meditation, learn how to do breathing exercise to slow things down. But people who are having more problems that need, their life is being interfered with and they can't succeed at their life's roles, then psychotherapy is a way to go. I think of it as a circle, because I started out talking about fear and anxiety one way, and I've tried to close the circle now to think of it as a complete topic. So as I said in my speech, a lot of what I have been saying is the same as I have for many years, but I wasn't always clear. So I think the circle is to complete my own thought processes and make them clearer for myself as well as for others.